Just gonna make sure. I mean, I had to restart, so I'm thinking that this is likely behaving. But just in case. That's weird. That's weird.
That's weird. That's weird.
Okay, well, it seems to be. I'm just going to quickly go downstairs and see it, or at least over here, and see if it's the fan that's picking up. And I thought you are up here, are you? No? Huh, I guess you went back down. I don't know what the fuck that noise is. It's so weird. It says that one is watching when I tune in on the other device, but it would be us. I'm just testing this out.
One is watching when I tune in on the other device, but it would be us.
Okay.
I'm just...
Okay, here's the phone. It looks like we do have somebody here, so let me just turn on the chat and let's try this again. Okay, yeah, but I did too. Or you can close that. Oh, and I'll check the text tomorrow. Like I said, we're not booking anything tomorrow with the rain. And if the other two call, because there's a piece, then yeah. Or message, then yeah. Okay, so we're back in business, for lack of a different word. So, okay, so I'm just gonna start from where I left off, which was kind of around the 9 or 10 minute area anyway. And again, it'd be really great if somebody was here hearing it, but, and also, I mean, you could have used yourself one thing, because there's a part of me that would like to add a comment myself, now that I'm rolling and already, you know, set things up here. But I don't see the option as to how to do that via this phone. Weird but true. Often I'm using the laptop. So, I won't do that. But, so yeah, from about, I would say, my late teens or early 20s. Like, I used to go to physio in my late teens, I feel like, and I'm not really much of an athlete. Live an averagely active lifestyle. First of all, I guess I both want to do it when there's somebody here and when there's, you know, people that might tune in afterwards. I guess I'll just say that, you know, we both have value that we can bring to each other, and positivity and great conversation, and that's part of what's really important, what matters. You know, it also is true that every time I come on here, I am giving a bit of what you could call my legacy, and I have a couple of videos on that topic. One or two recently, and one maybe a month or two or so ago, and there was an image, a thumbnail with it that I selected off of a stock photo. So, and really all of us are, whether we're posting videos or commenting on videos, we're leaving a bit of our legacy behind, and who we are. And so, you know, let's make it good and lovely and great. And that's mostly what I get. I mean, I've had a couple instances recently where I don't know if it was just kind of eccentric, you know, they didn't say ton, and with one it may have been English wasn't great, but they, I don't know if they were trolls or not. Anyway, what really sparked this video tonight, because honestly, I haven't been on my other social media very much tonight, and I was planning to do that. In fact, that's kind of where this idea came from, sort of. Yeah, I podcasted a bit tonight. I could have otherwise waited till tomorrow. But I'm just going to move a little further from the AC, even though I kind of just brought all the stuff over here. One, because I think it's loud. Two, because it's blowing on my legs and making them chilly. But I really just want it to help circulate the air. It was also a bit brighter over there, but I'm just going to turn this light on and let my eyes be slightly sensitive because it's kind of late at night here and I'm tired. I'm just going to lower this. I just need to put the phone down. Hopefully it won't do... I'm almost hesitant to do that, though. No, I'm not going to, because last time... Okay. I'm going to turn off rotate. It looks like it is off, but yet it looks like it's rotating. I'm just going to close our screen door here for a moment. And I kept it on this track, so that's good. So we got two of you here. Welcome. Curious if you have been to the channel before, how you came across this. Like I say, what we say to each other, I'm gonna sit down and still yeah. What we say to each other matters, you know, it's part of leaving our legacy with each other. And basically I saw this post, it kinda scared me. Like I say, I've had scoliosis since I was quite young. And I don't think it's gotten, I don't think it's changed much. And 202 again. I don't think it's changed much in the past 10-ish years. Tonight I am noticing some back pain. Today would have really been a great day to have gotten that massage appointment, but and it was so weird. We were on the way to another appointment today, late this afternoon, and like he'd gotten home about 30 minutes beforehand, and it was a little bit rainy, windy, looked like it might be raining in the air, but wasn't actually. And then we got about 10 minutes away from home, and it was starting to really come down. And then see if he has to reschedule tomorrow. I mean, if we would have been looking, but then depending on where we looked, it wasn't necessarily saying it was raining. I'm just trying to find the post that I want to reference. I can try and do it by memory because I accidentally clicked out of the group that I saw it in. I don't think it was this one, but maybe it is. Basically, you know, this is a common disorder, and I mean it's not the only one I have. I do have a few things that I'm working with and dealing with. That goes to waste memory. Sorry, I would like to find that post. This is so crazy. Okay, I think there's the one that was above it. It's that the group has gotten new posts, and some people have maybe commented on stuff, which has brought other things up a bit. I'm just wanting to, because I didn't know that with scoliosis, that, you know, there was a potential for this kind of thing. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm quite sure it was one of the ones near the top. I can almost remember the guy's name. Okay. There we go. That was weird. But I do want to talk about this, and I'm hoping that people can kind of give me comfort, and also, realize that, you know, whether someone has a really active out and about life or not, life is never really promised. And we all know that. I know we do. You know, even if you're a really healthy person, you know, things can happen. So again, I notice it with this phone more than on the laptop that my eyes have a different kind of look. I don't know why than they otherwise do, but maybe it's also just because I am sitting under a pretty bright light and I am tired. But anywho, I saw this guy, he posted about his mother who was 65 when she passed away. He's close to my age. Um, and basically, I wanted to talk about this because because like I say, I'm wanting comfort, and I'm also, we gotta enjoy each other's presence while this life lets us, because it's really quite something special. Even, just randomly on the internet, like we all have value to contribute to each other. Uh, sure, I would say some people are more negative or toxic energy than other people, and so we have to watch for that. I am going to plug this in. It's a short cord and it's 40%, but it drops fast. But yeah, so we got somebody here, and welcome, glad to have you here. Curious how you've come across the channel, if you've been here before. Watch it be someone who I think might be. And then they'll be like, then I'll know both of those answers, but either way, you can put it in the chat. But basically, he was saying that, just referencing this device and something on it here, that she had scoliosis, which is a back condition. In fact, I'm a deep thinker and I usually realize things quite quickly, but I didn't realize up until a few years ago that MS, multiple sclerosis, they both have that word in it. My cousin is the one that I know of that's had it. Um, you know, I guess it's multiple because it goes into the brain, maybe, or the leg, or both. Anywho, I also think I sometimes fairly certain I deal with neuropathy, and I will never forget meeting an I think my friend said she was meeting an amputee who said that there's really no treatment for it. So I mean, eventually, I mean, I don't like the thought of surgery. I don't like the thought of being an amputee really either. But if things get that bad for me, I mean, I would hate to have a long and painful death. But I mean, you know, I don't know if I would fight against death. I don't fear it for the most part. But anyway, basically, chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. Basically, no. But this post says that she had a back surgery. I mean, my mother did too. They actually were able, not to sound too graphic or whatever, but they were able to take her spine. So she said, as if she was watching, but she would have been on anesthetic, I would imagine. I think that's the term. But maybe she was told afterwards they do the work and then they reinstall it. Anywho, but this person had her first back surgery. Well, I don't know why my friend's saying that this is still buffering. I mean, two of you are here, so it seems like this time around it's behaving like it usually does with the quality. But now it's one. But anyway, but my other friend is saying that it's still buffering. So looks like it's working. I did test it, so I don't know what's going on. Anywho, which she developed clots and was put on an IV. I mean, this may or may not be specific, and I want to respect this person's privacy, but, I'm sure he feels bad if it really truly is the case that he'd gotten some sort of severe cough and infection, which he felt he gave to his ill mother, who then passed away. But basically, from what I gather of this post, well, it sounds like she had other health issues too, though. But maybe nothing super severe. What I sort of gather from this post, upon, just kind of looking at it quickly, is that scoliosis could become something harder for me to manage as I get older. Does anybody have or know somebody that has it? Scoliosis? I mean, yeah, part of me feels like it's going to eventually require a back surgery. You know, I don't know how soon. Probably not that soon. And the question also is, does movement aggravate it? You know, too much movement or just too much? I mean, I guess it's one of those things. It's always about balance, right? I'm just going to turn off one of the lights in the other room because it's very bright all around me. All of these lights don't need to be on. Um, Play the piano for that. Like, I do live a relatively, whoops, now it's rotated. Hopefully that hasn't affected the quality. I do live a relatively stagnant life, but I'm also not the least active person either. Um, like I say, mostly I don't seem to have back pain. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is that I probably shouldn't feel awkward. All kinds of people with all kinds of difficulties go to massages, chiropractor, physio, that kind of stuff. I don't know if I need one more than the other. I'm really not sure what I think about chiropractic, other than that I've not been hugely drawn to it. But I'm just going to very quickly send something to somebody. Um, but now we got 3 of you. Welcome. Curious how you found this channel. I'm just very quickly um, just very quickly sending something to somebody. Take less than 5 minutes as long as I can type with one hand. Less than 2, actually. But all 3 of you left. Anywho, whatever. The fact that I say nobody's there right now, she might come in. I mean, and it's only the truth. If she does come in, she can see that. Why am I so warm lately? What's ready? I don't know. Anyway, so we do have somebody here. Yes, people go to those, like, yeah, I would think, I don't know, maybe physio might be a better option for me. I mean, I don't have any sports injuries or whatever, but I realized something. I'm a side and somewhat back sleeper. I sleep on the side, on my back. Just kidding. But I mean, I maybe haven't always been, maybe, and there's no particular, well, one, but not because of any physical problem that I have. Partly just preference and comfort. Sorry, chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. And that's what scared you away? Okay then. Not meant for this channel. You. Chapstick, yes. unless it's other valid reason, not personal, or which could be connection quality. But as far as I know, this is working. I mean, it looks like it's working on my end. I did test it a few minutes in. I mean, yes, it did do that thing it did earlier briefly. I don't want to be wasting my energy and, it's not like I had anything that I had to be doing with my time, but I don't want to be wasting my energy if this isn't working. I'm sure she would see that I'm live when she comes in, but I'm just going to say part 2. Anywho, but I'll state it anyway because what the heck. I don't want to rate her out much. I know she's going to try and be here, but... And the truth of the matter is I did comment that I didn't say much for the length of the post. but I don't know if I can process that much reading right now. But anywho, so yes, it didn't almost occur to me, but one morning I woke up kind of sore, and it kind of did occur to me, partly because I was more sensitive on one side than the other, but also I don't know, it just did, and I found myself thinking if I was to go for, and I mean I know it's that topic, but whatever. I'm just talking about it quickly here. If I was to go for a massage, I don't think I could lay on my chest. Um, I have Asperger's, so sometimes um, like laying on my ribs in my chest might be uncomfortable. There isn't a kind of an interesting I could do that might help with that, but also my back. I mean, yes, I'm getting a massage, but I may be sore the whole time, which isn't exactly, or I don't know. I mean, it otherwise I wouldn't have been. I like I say, I haven't been on my front sleeper in a long time. Um, I think a lot of I don't know. You could say how do I know this? I don't really, but I guess from like movies or sitcoms or TV shows where they maybe show it or whatever. I feel like like toddlers, babies. I feel like a lot of them do. But then maybe this is why a lot of older people don't, because as your body gets older, I mean, yeah, not every young person is in good health condition or whatever, but it's just easier to sleep that way. But yeah, so what I'm suggesting to them, and at first I felt awkward and weird about it, but then I thought, you know what? I'm sure other people have do as well for similar or other reasons. Is that I could be in a chair, kind of. Now again, this is still, I guess, pressing up against something, but I'd have better posture too, to be honest. Well, no, actually, that's not maybe so much of a thing, but I can kind of, you know, a little bit, um, or if they can do it while I'm on my side. I don't know. Here's hoping. Here's hoping, because I really love it, whether it's for my birthday, which isn't super close, and just in general, we have insurance coverage we'd love to use, but yeah, and they might be able to actually help with this, but, and then it renews in January, but then I think it's only for like 5 or 6 sessions, because these things can be expensive. Um, Although it's one of those things that if you go on the cheaper end, it might not mean it's bad. Like, it's one of those things that I also feel is not really. Yeah, there's some skill. There's some knowledge that you need to know to do that kind of work. I would say especially sports injury therapies, because that's a bit more specific. But just to do a general massage, I mean, somebody's spouse could do, or yeah, roommate if they like him enough. No, I just can't, could do it. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a special skill. I think that I would be decent at it, but maybe I wouldn't do it. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little bit worried. I mean, like I say, I have some other things, like I mentioned, celiac, mild mental health stuff. Um, um, I don't joint issues. Yeah. But as far as this scoliosis thing, like, I don't know um, what to think and feel, because for some reason, even if actually most of the post wasn't about this, and maybe I misread it, what I seem to be gathering from that guy's post is that scoliosis can eventually require surgery, or get worse. And that surgeries don't always go well either. So, I mean, even though I've somewhat had a fallout with my mother and we're not in a lot of contact, we have been in a little bit recently, and you know, there's a part of me that does feel very lucky that she made it through her back surgery. Um, you know, and then the longer we're connected, either the more possibility that we'll end up kind of similar situations that we did in the past, or we get closer and she is, you know, older and closer to passing away and might not make, you know, may or may not live as old as 70 or 80, like and so many others. But yeah, you know, like I said earlier, I don't necessarily fear death, but when I think about those few that I would be leaving behind, when I think about, even if though I do believe in the afterlife, oh, that's weird. My friend says that my video is started. I don't know if she means the one that I was previously doing, which, because she doesn't seem to be here. Um, you know, like I said, I would want my death to be quick and painless, and pain can mean so many different things. It can mean, of course, physical, can mean mental and emotional. Like, I wouldn't want to have to endure issues with my scoliosis or anything. I mean, I already kind of am enduring some stuff, right? But with my scoliosis for years and years, and it make life more uncomfortable. You know, but I'm also not one that could do a certain thing to myself. So it's either going to take me or it's not, and I just have to live with that. You know, and there is a lot of greatness and beauty in the world too. Um, and calling someone attractive can be a compliment. Doesn't have to be creepy, by the way. I'm just thinking of something I heard somebody saying, or some people that get all worked up in this one group, that people do that to people sometimes. It's like, would you rather them be mean or call you ugly? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. Well, even if I end up giving myself some comfort on this before I wrap up, because I will want to look back at it, you're still welcome to. You're still welcome to. Um, but I'm gonna see if I can possibly give myself a little bit of a pep talk, a bit of motivation or whatever. So I'm just getting lotion on my hand. It's not a super low charge, but this thing does die fast. So unlike myself, so I do have it plugged in. Um, and of course they make it so that the charger goes in the base, and then you can't easily tilt it on something. And even though it's on rotate, I didn't start it that way. I've never tried doing a video that way, I don't think, and I don't want it to affect the quality. But yeah, so again, I welcome you to do. Okay, whatever. It's been flickering a little bit at the top there. But yeah, what I'm going to do next, and again, whether we know each other at all or not, I welcome you to try and offer me something too. But like I say, we all can give value to our fellow people. We all can make a difference by what we say, you know. And I actually did a fairly powerful video the other day where I was speaking to, especially, oh hi Kyle, Wayne with Interesting Wise. Good to have you here. Curious how you found the channel, if you've ever been here before. And yeah, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'm glad to have you here. Now I forget what I was saying. And I have ADHD, so I mean I can easily be just as distracted whether there's comments or not. And sometimes I'll come back around to it, but if you could help me to do so, thanks for the like, that'd be great. Is this your first time on this channel? What was I saying before that? Because this isn't scripted, folks. It never is. I'm free-spirited. We got 2 people here, so just for both of your knowledge. And yeah, it's ironic. I was almost kind of thinking of a Kyle. Now, Bruce Wayne is a fictional character, correct? If not, are you related to him? And how's Wayne's world anyway? How's your world? Yeah, everyone can be a teacher. I agree. Doesn't matter how old. I mean, kids can be the greatest teachers, although they still have so much to learn. I'll see kids sometimes, and I just think to myself, man, it's been a long time since I've been that small and that young, you know? And I kind of miss it, you know? Most of us probably do, but not all of us have had great childhoods either. But yeah, no matter what kind of, what do you call it? Afflictions we may have in our lives, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Kyle, don't hesitate to comment more just because you think you're going to distract me. Oh, cool. We got Don here. Glad to have you here as well. But what I feel like it's about teaching, but it's also about just simply, and I know some people make it hard, and honestly, some people probably don't deserve it. But most people do, strangers or not. It's about simply being good people for our fellow people, our fellow humans. And so I know that one out of the 3 of you is familiar with me. The other 2 may be your first time, and I don't mean to put you on the spot or put pressure on you. All I ask is that you do your best. All I ask is that you do your best anytime you comment or whatever. Infinite. So it's important to learn from everyone and everything. The only thing you take with you when you go, I believe, is love and knowledge. Good point. Good point. You seem like someone who's on my wavelength already, and so obviously, because we're jilling. So don't forget to hit the notification button. Check out the other lives. But it is late. I'm going to wrap this one up soon. But what I want to wrap it up with, aside from maybe a song request, is I don't want to say that I mean, we're all dying eventually. I don't necessarily feel like I'm near death, but to the people that follow me on here, I hope that you can understand and accept that, I mean, first of all, none of us knows when it's going to be our time. That's just the truth. However, I may die young. I may. From health reasons. Yes, and I talk about it often on here. I'm a bit of a healer, actually. And, yes, I'm very comforted. Although, it's one of those things, that feels like something I'm waiting longingly for sometimes. To be there with loved ones. Yeah. But, I mean, my dad passed young, but that was an auto accident. So we were both young. A cousin on his side also did, but then the cousin with MS was in his 40s. The other cousin, I think, had some sort of hemorrhage, and I don't know what else. She I think, had some addictions in her life that weren't very healthy. I mean, some are healthier than others, let's be honest, right? One of them, her daughter, actually lived on the streets, and had a bit of a rough life as well. Partly by choice, it feels like, but whatever. So really, you're not gonna. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. No, and I know what you mean. But no, what I'm saying is like from this life. You know, so when I think of my loved ones and when I think of some of the things I'm dealing with in my person and in my being now, it does make me wonder. It does make me wonder about that kind of thing. And thank you, Don. You as well. I know you're older than me, I believe, but, well, yeah, but you as well. As I was saying, G's sister recently went back home. I often do think of it as a better place. I mean, this world can be great, but it's also very messy, very sad. You know, there is a lot of not great, you know. And yeah, see, I read it that way. If it's a very minor typo, I mean, I know some people are OCD about their typos or whatever. I can usually figure them out. And if I can't, I'll ask. But I see what you're saying as well. And again, not disagreeing. I try to, you know, one thing I would maybe disagree with is you say, and you don't emphasize it, but you say in all aspects of life, of physical life, not like just active life, but this life. And I would say that you can't find joy and peace and not worry in all aspects of life. That's not realistic. But to try and do it more often than not is a good idea. And I have a video that did quite well a couple of weeks ago that was called Living versus Existing. And I would love if you checked it out. I mentioned in it, and I could try and remember them now, but I might not be able to, and it'd be just better if you checked it out. I listed, and it was kind of inspired by Gabriel Iglesias, an interview I saw of him. Yeah, I appreciate it. But I kind of mentioned the three life lessons that I learned. And you know what I will add to that I didn't say in that one, and I appreciate that, Kyle. I'm curious why the Y's are typed the way they are, but they're kind of cool. Almost looks Greek. The name Kyle's always been cool. I'd love to learn more about you as well. Do you post videos? What I would add to those, the three life lessons, and I know it can be hard to narrow down sometimes, but the lessons, I see. Do you post videos too? The lessons that we would love to, you know, if like we were passing from this life, and it was like, now's our time to tell the people not only how much we care about them, you know, friends, family, strangers, but also what in our own individual journeys, which are very similar to other people's, but very different as well, what we've learned, what would we say? I would add to that, think about it and do it. Not necessarily every day, every few days maybe, I don't know. Like, don't wait till you're on your deathbed. You know, because it goes back to what you have to say, what you've learned in life, what you can pass along to someone else is, you know, I would think for most of us, very important, very valid, and yeah. I make music and produce music. Lately been posting funny do-reddit. That sounds very cool. You know, so many people that comment on my stuff, they don't seem to have much videos themselves. Although the one earlier, it was kind of, I'm still not sure what to make of it, but he has a lot of interesting flute covers. I'm musical as well, actually. G in the GNC does a bit of production, but not for work. Although he'd probably like it more, to be honest, but it's not consistent. You know, I can think that my brother in France, who does that kind of work, is very successful, and he is, and he's done great for himself, you know, and constantly working. that's the impression I get from afar. And no, not just geographically far away. Even though we don't necessarily have issues with each other, we don't connect very often. I actually posted a song called Sunshine and Reels, I think. And it was very interesting, the inspiration behind that. And it's still kind of rough versions, but it was actually kind of about him. And I also posted another original about him. That was recently also. Plug. But he once said that he's kind of freaks out sometimes because it's like he doesn't know when the next job is coming. You know, he might be soon to have kids, close to his 40s, because he recently got married 2 or 3 years ago. Probably been that long by now. But yeah, and where are you from, Kyle? He was originally in Australia. I'm in Canada. Well, he's originally Canadian. I still am. Well, I guess he still is too, but yeah, maybe I'll check out some of your content tonight. We've been watching Anne Murray. I don't know if you know who Anne Murray is. She's a famous... I know the third person that tuned in may have seen those videos before, and they're like, oh, he's on about her again? Like he's like a super crazy fanatic or has a crush or something. I mean, she's very... Not that... You know, she's got a very pure, crisp, for lack of a different word, great look about her. And I'm not like a diehard fan, which is why I haven't done more of her music. But my mother and my step ran into her recently in their travels. I really appreciate you sharing. I have to get going. Where are you from? I will check out your page later. I appreciate it. Yeah, the live tab. Oh, Washington. Okay. And the other 2 people, feel free to like and subscribe as well. Okay, cool. Curious if you've ever been to Canada. You do have to... Well, it can't be that much later or earlier in Washington, but... You got things to do with your Monday night. I'm glad that you stopped by here. And remember, you know, try and take with you some of the stuff that I said, and I hope to see you again on some of my videos. Like I say, yeah, I've appreciated your energy here. And if you have a song request you'd like to give before you leave, and I can do a little bit of it. You know, there's no shortage of talented people, but we all have our own special, unique ways with our talents. And I'll try and check out yours too tonight or soon for sure. And I mean that, and I feel like you mean it when you say it too. You know, there are some people I follow, and they're cool that I follow them, but they don't always follow back. But you know, one of them I'm thinking of in particular. There's a real community in his chat. So I mean, you know, I like that. I appreciate that. So yeah, the likes and the subscriptions and the comments, and yeah, like, you know, like I say, I do still fear, you know, that my health will get worse. I mean, it does for all of us as we get older. I just don't know if it's going to be quite rapid for me. And I feel mixed about it. But I am pretty tired. We do have one person still here. Is it Dawn or who is it? I think Kyle probably left. Just in case the live chat doesn't show later, I just want to make sure that I processed and didn't miss anything that he said, which most of them I read out loud. If not all of them. More so a reunion and renewing of our souls when we physically pass away. Subbed. Just curious about the content. Okay, it's you. Okay, it's you. But yeah, I don't know if there's much else to say. I hope that I'm able to benefit from some sort of physical therapy slash rejuvenation. Body, mind, and soul, you know, it's always a thing. But yeah, and that, you know, like, yeah, that it will do more good for me than not. Yeah, I'm very tired. I'm going to wrap up as well. But I'm glad that you were both here. Hope you get to check out the Anne Murray covers. Maybe tomorrow you can take a look at that. I didn't end up doing Reba. She said no. Just kidding. But we have two of you here. Well, I know which one of you is. And, okay, and I think that, and then the other one left, so I'm pretty sure that's you. Thanks for appreciating my humor. I try and, yeah, it's something to know about me. Anybody who sees the content or gets to know me, and you'll probably learn pretty quick, and you probably already have, I never mean to say anything uncomfortable or make anybody uncomfortable, and I don't think I usually do. But things just roll off the tongue. Sometimes very easily. Like I'm like anyone, sometimes I am, but most of the time I'm not one that sits and thinks, how do I want to say this? I want to say it just right. Because I don't know if there is a just right, And sometimes the way you're meant to say it is just the way it comes out. As long as it's in kindness and like I say, not ill intent. So, yeah. I'm glad that I mentioned some of my other videos. Hopefully other people will be curious about it as well, and not try to comment. I'm glad I did this one. And yeah, the real takeaway, aside from comforting each other, is to remember that, don't be shy with the goodness you want to put out there in the world, because you're worried that it might get misunderstood or not be appreciated or whatever. Because I kind of feel like, when would goodness not be appreciated? Like, oh my goodness, no, I mean, the world needs it. The people in the world need it. And so, as some people like to say, and I'm gonna get ready probably for bed soon and lower the lighting in here shortly. Shine your light. Shine it bright. And yes, I did. Oh, you're still here. Okay, cool. I did. I'm so happy that I did do some singing on here today, because I would love to incorporate at the beginning and end of each video a song, but I don't always have one available, even though there's so much music out there. But every day I try and put, or almost every day, every day I post anyway. And yeah, I hope Anne sees my video. I hope her daughter gets it to her. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. If not, I'll have to figure out how to submit to the Glamour channel, where occasionally they have singers watch people do covers of their videos and they comment. I'd settle for that. If even, and then we get to watch their reaction. Even if I don't get to, and I think I know how to type that Y symbol, so I'll hopefully be able to find them, because I don't know how to, do it otherwise. How am I supposed to losing this? Okay, have a good night, Don. And because live chat may not, it doesn't show the option to get it to on the cell phone anyway. But you know what? If he comes and checks out my other stuff and comments on it, then I'll be able to click to his channel. But I'm going to try and find it next, actually, to see that I can. Okay, so everybody, and then I do numerology too sometimes. So my mind is telling me, couple more minutes. But you could totally, I don't know if it's an hour ahead or an hour behind where you are, Don. Here it's 9:35. And the older we get, the earlier we want to go to bed sometimes. Hope everybody, you and your family, are doing well. And we'll be in touch. And yeah, hopefully, continue to have a good week. And communication is always very important too. So, she said, right, we all need goodness. Totally. Really hope you can get a massage to help. He's located where the White House is. Lucky him. Anyway, to end on that political note, we don't have to go there. We can leave politics out of it most of the time. I'm not hugely political anyway. And just enjoy connection with each other here without politics for the most part is probably the best idea. Religion, if it's done respectfully, I can handle. You know, some people is just so much at the core of who they are. It's almost as if they'd be like a more of a shell than anyone else. I mean, a lot of people, or like musicians would say music is at their core. And I guess I wouldn't like to tell them to strip themselves of the music. And I'm not trying to be rude or offensive when I say this, but it's coming to mind, so I'll say it. Religious people. Some of them are so heavily religious that it's like they don't have a sense of self without the religion. And I think that that's unfortunate. And I know that it's there, and I hope they discover it. I'm not saying that religion is bad or being religious is bad. Like I say. But this is why I say, some people, it's kind of so who they are that they just bring it into the conversation a lot. And it depends how it's done, I would say. And if it's done with respect, and I would say if it's not overly done, like every comment, then I can get along with those people. But yeah. So anyway, just okay. Feel free to check out the other lives, and I don't know what I'll be posting tomorrow yet, but G might be in it since he'll be home, and it might very well likely be musical. Take care, everybody.